the second I sit down, fly comes in. Hello everybody, I'm Betty and I make a Feel Good Friday vlog. I swear to God, that blue... Oh! That's fighting talk. I'm going to get it. I'm back. That'll learn it. Right. Shall we start again? Hi everybody, I hope you're all very well. I am Betty and I make a Feel Good Friday vlog, which I obviously post every Friday. And I love cats, plants, snacks and knickknacks. I love to go out thrifting in the charity shops, the thrift stores, especially the flea market and the car boot sales. And often you'll find me, or you won't find me, you'll never find me, ferreting about the internet in the middle of the night looking for treasure. And once I've dragged all my treasure haul home, like a proper little pirate, I like to show you what I've bought. So, it's often a very eclectic collection of this, that and the other. And most often it's vintage jewellery. I like to sort of specialise in vintage gear and clobber, but I don't really limit myself to vintage. I will buy anything that I love. Always secondhand. I'm very much anti fast fashion and sort of mass-produced consumerism, single-use jewellery and fashion and all that kind of stuff. No, you're not for me. I've been a professional environmentalist almost my entire, well, actually, my entire life. Yeah, go on. I'll take that mantle. So what I thought I'd do today has sort of gone awry because I'd planned to do a huge sort of jewellery haul and chat and a bit of a giggle shizzle about all my bling. But when I started going through my treasure chests of all my old tat, which is obviously treasure to me, I got completely overwhelmed. I'm not going to lie. I almost lost my mind. I mean, let's face it, it's quite regularly hard to find in the first place. So the thought of losing it upstairs in a bag of old shite was almost too much. So what I've done is I have picked through some things, some of my treasure chests and my jewellery boxes and cases, and I've taken some things off the long neck of the two stork ornaments I've got upstairs that I keep my bracelets on, but I couldn't get it all because I couldn't reach. Which is also the story of my life, because I'm wee. So it's going to be a very random, very eclectic, like, oh my God, what, we've gone from this to that? That's what's going to happen today. So, yeah, I'm just going to show you it. And then I'm going to take you out into the yarden and show you all the good news updates from the yarden, because it's quite exciting. There's been some ambitions fulfilled this week. I'm very excited about that. And I need to apologise as well. I do speak a bit quieter out in the garden because there were some geezers ferreting about in the alleyway behind the yards, obviously doing some work. But I sort of feel a bit, not intimidated. I just feel a little bit self-conscious when there's geezers hanging around listening. And for a change, it was very quiet out there. So I do speak a little bit quieter. And I know I shouldn't give a shit. I'm trying not to. But it's, you know, it's a lifelong struggle. So yeah, you might want to turn the volume up or just skip to the end. Thank you. So here we go. I'm going to start. Get a cup of tea or a Diet Coke or a stiff drink if you need one. Here we go. Right, I've just been upstairs to get something I forgot to get, which is going to be the actual introduction to this video. That, you see, that's how today is going. I think maybe I had too many iced coffees and Diet Colas yesterday. Just to let you know, Begonia Coconut is alive and well. She's very happy. She's out in the yard and it's a bit cloudy and rainy today. some plans were postponed for today. They've been moved to tomorrow because there's a thunderstorm planned. But she's very happy sitting outside in the garden for now. She might come in a minute, and you'll see her then. But you see her in the end. So, oh, I've already filmed the garden section. Right then, this first piece I found on an online site. It wasn't eBay, and I thought that's got to be fake. That's got to be just, a complete cheap off AliExpress or Amazon copy. And when I got it, I realised it wasn't. It's the genuine art. It's the genuine article, and it is this piece of wonder. This is a authentic vintage Kenneth Lane rhinestone encrusted statement snake brooch. Statement snake brooch. I wish it was as big as it looks next to Bunty, but it's this big. Big enough, I think. So I'd been saving up all my reptile and insect jewellery and planning it in my mind and letting it sort of brew for a big sort of themed video, and that's when I got overwhelmed because there's so much of it. So what I'm going to do today is show you some highlights, just some pics. I've got a big collection. Well, no, I've got a small collection, but a big range of things. I've got jewellery, I've got belts, I've got bags, and I've got vintage home decor. And it's all sort of insecty, reptile-y themed. I'm not going to go into massive detail about each one because what's going to happen is I'm going to use them again in another video where there'll be more detail and there'll be more focus. So here we are. This is what I'm going to start with. Isn't he absolutely joyous? Super sparkly. He's got a massive big crust of a crown on the top, a jewel, a gem, and look at his eyes. Hello. Hello. Can't believe it. And I just couldn't believe that it was the real thing. There we go. So I can't remember what I paid. It really wasn't very much. I paid as much as it would have been if it was just, a bit of costume jewellery. But its value, I think it's around about £200, maybe 170 to £200. Not for sale. It's for me. It's part of the family. That box is working. This is better. There we go. Look at him. Joyous. I can hear the unmistakable sound of ladders being lifted and shifted. It sounds like they're in my garden. They're not. I think it's the window cleaners. Definitely not in my garden. There's no windows getting cleaned in this house. Right, next one. You've seen this before if you've seen any of my other videos, or one in particular. This was another incredible find that I also thought was just a bit of a big old statement number off Amazon. It turned out not to be when I got home, and I turned it over and saw the joyous name on the bottom there. Don't know if you can see it. Butler and a Wilson. I think I paid, can you remember, £3 or something? Maybe £3 or £4. Oh, they're talking to each other outside in the yard, and I think that's what's distracting me. Geezers flourishing about outside with ladders. No, okay, focus. Yeah, worth, I think, about £200 as well. I think they're around about 170 to 200. Obviously, it's not worth thousands, but it's just definitely flying high above all the mass-produced AliExpress, Amazon business, which is, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, but it's not exactly environmentally friendly. Oh. There you go. So you can join your friend. Beautiful. Oh, look at his legs. However, it is environmentally friendly when you buy it a second time round, which is what I did here. This is, it's off AliExpress probably, but I bought it in the charity shop or the flea market. So don't blame me. It's a sort of they call them sort of wraparound hip hop punk necklaces on AliExpress and on Amazon, but it's one of those sort of freeform shape shifting necklaces where it's just one long piece, like a little coil, and you wrap it around wherever you want to put it, around your wrist, around your neck. I think this is supposed to be the necklace. Obviously inspired by a classic design, which we'll get to later. This one probably cost less when it was new than it did when I bought it from a second-hand shop. I don't know, I probably paid about £3 and it was probably £1.99 in the shop or online. There we are, it goes like that, but you can do whatever you want with it. You can do that too, or you can wrap it around your head or your leg or your tail. Double-headed cobra clamper. I like their little tongues. This one's a bit of a mystery. When I first got it, I just assumed it was, you know, relatively cheap costume jewellery. And then I found one online and I think it was something like £75, which took me by surprise. It's not signed, it's not stamped, I don't know the maker. And now I can't find another one. So I don't know if you've seen these somewhere or if you know the maker, please leave a comment. But it's so cute. Well, they're so cute. I wonder if there's a symbolic meaning to a double cobra clamper bracelet. Probably beware, stay back, brace for incoming from both sides. Sometimes when you put these on, it's worse than being bitten by a cobra, isn't it? Next, a classic, much more a delicate clamper. That's gold tone one, and this one is a silver tone one. Vintage Stife snake clamper bracelet. There's loads of these online available from lots of different vintage retailers. I think they're probably around about £25 each normally, and they're all stamped. Hang on, let me get the right way around. With an S inside. If you see something with that S on, there we are. That stands for a strife. Totally love him. Completely adore him. Not branded, it's not marked. Don't know the name of the maker. It's a little scarab. Or is it a stag? Is that? I assumed it was a scarab beetle. Is that a little stag beetle? Oh my god, I love him even more. I didn't think that was possible. Yeah, I just got him from a charity shop. Can't remember what I paid. Something ridiculous like 50p. You obviously couldn't wear him with a fluffy jumper or a loopy cardigan. It'd have to be in the summer with a t-shirt. But there he goes. Look at that, he's got Betty Grable legs. And Betty Davis eyes. He's not alone. I've got this absolute stonker from a charity shop as well. I think it's a stag beetle. I thought it was a scarab, but now I think it's a stag, and it's got two little bee friends on acrylic stones. I think this was originally from somewhere like Topshop or maybe Aldo, you know, sort of maybe Topshop in its heyday before it all went terribly wrong. or a sort of a higher end high street shop. That was great. I remember the day I bought that. I had a great conversation with the man in the shop. Yeah, so that's amazing. I'll put you on that. I think I paid something like £1.75, you know, one of those charity shop numbers. And I mean, it's not for sale, but it's probably worth about £35–45 as a piece of vintage costume. It's probably from the Y2K-ish. I'm only guessing. I don't know. You might know. Okay, and the last bracelet I've got to show you is this mass-produced multicolored diamante butterfly clamper. I mean, I just think that's fabulous. I know it's mass-produced. It's got a few teeth missing. So have I. It's got a few teeth missing, a few stones gone astray, but that's an easy fix. But how fantastic is that? And I know it's hot out of a factory, but this is definitely something that will become, you know, a treasured vintage possession. It's just brilliant. I love the colours and it looks great on. I don't know why I sound like I'm arguing with someone because it's only me here and I'm only talking to myself. I'm sure none of you are bothered. Oh God. Seriously, I've had too much caffeine. I think that's what it is. I just put these on and it's like that scene in David Attenborough's programme about the little hatching lizards that have to run from the snakes. So I'm just going to take these off. No baby lizards were hurt in the making of this video. So all of these were found in the charity shop at the flea market. Do you know, I think they were all found in charity shops, apart from the snake, which I found online on an online marketplace type store. What did I say I paid? Something like £3 for that. I think I paid £3 for that, something like that. All the other bits and pieces, I don't know what I paid. I don't know. But I never paid very much, and I'm not really out for profit. I'm not a proper reseller. I just sell stuff myself to keep the hoard down and pay the council tax. And even though some of those are really quite valuable finds, occasionally I find something that when I get it home into the nest, into the kitten's basket, it completely blows my hair back. That is a genuine vintage Whiting and Davis articulated snake necklace. Quality is as good as it gets. So it snaps on there, and that's a tiny little maker's mark in there. That's a little stamp in there. And I bought it thinking it was just, you know, another mass-produced piece from Amazon or somewhere like that. And I thought it was a belt, maybe from Topshop or from Accessorite. Well, no, I thought it was probably from Claire's. Turns out, Whiting and Davis. And they pretty much, invented might not be the right word, but they sort of designed the benchmark, the prototype for this sort of mesh effect metal, and they made jewellery and bags and all sorts of stuff. And there you go. It's mine. I'm rich. It's not for sale. It's for me. I just like to feel rich, even though I'm not. So, next. from the genuine article to complete knockoff. This is a replica of the Gucci bag with the bees, the bugs, and the rhinestones. I got it out of a shopping trolley outside it. Look at all the cat hair. Sorry about that. I wonder that I just got this out of a carrier bag upstairs in the cupboard. It must be from the sofa. She gets everywhere. Maybe it's from me. Yeah, I got this out of a shopping trolley outside of a charity shop in a really horrible, grotty, shitty hole town. £2 this was, and I don't know. I don't know who made it. I would hazard a guess that it's from China, and it's just a total copy. Oh look, has it got the price tag in it? I paid £2 for it. Oh no, it's gone. And it ended up in the shopping trolley, as I say, which is the sort of last chance saloon before the incinerator. It's where I find all my best things. There you go. Isn't that fabulous? It's got a strap and everything like that. But I've never used it. I just like having it. In the shop next door to that shop, I got this, which I think is absolutely wicked. It's not vintage, and I knew it was a display stand, but I didn't know what it was for or who it was by. Had a great night searching through the internet, going down lots of little wormholes on Google, and turns out it's a display stand. It's not vintage. I mean, they might be making them now, or maybe it's from 2010 or something like that. But it's by Paco Rabanne, and it was what they displayed the Pure Excess aftershave on, the perfume, the aftershave perfume, and isn't that amazing? Sort of like a really rich midnight blue velour background with a gold tone snake and a little ledge to put your jewels on. Oh, who should go on there? Who should go on there? You. Right. I've been saving this belt for a special occasion video, and I did all the research on it, and for the life of me, I cannot remember the name of the designer. Anyway, it's a knockoff, but the design is amazing. So I'm just going to show it to you quickly, and then you'll have to forget you ever saw it, and then I'll present it like I know all about it in another video. So, is that not the greatest thing you've ever seen? Well, at least on a belt. It's the greatest thing I've ever seen on a belt. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? Yeah. There you go. I just think it's incredible. There you go. Forget you ever saw it. This next belt, thank God, has got the designer stamped very clearly on it. Clara Perry. And I'll just put it on the mannequin for you. Absolutely exquisite. The quality is dreamy. The colours, the design, the little critter, it's heavenly. I'm absolutely obsessed with it. And I bought it when I was waiting for my turn to go on an alpaca trek. Yes, I did. Which was a fabulous experience. Absolutely brilliant. But I was waiting in the sort of nearest town to the field where they were all doing their thing, being alpaca-y. And I went into a charity shop. Well, I went into a few. Didn't find anything exciting. And then in the last one, there was a very reluctant, relatively surly woman behind the till. And they had a glass cabinet. And right at the back, on the bottom shelf, in the dark, I could see a leg. And I thought, whatever that is, I'll have it. I couldn't really see what it was. And the price tag was £5, which for a charity shop in that area was, you know, top shelf. That you would need a security card to get back to the car. However, when she brought it out, I saw it and I died with happiness. I thought, oh my God, what a day! What a day! great big £5 beetle and loads of baby alpacas. Happiness. So there we go. That's the whole of my selected creepy crawlies and slithery slitherers. I've got one last thing to show you, which is more home decor than jewellery or fashion. And it's this fantastic thing, which I bought on eBay right in the middle of lockdown. I don't know if it's homemade. I don't know if it's sort of produced in Africa or, you know, like craft workshops overseas. I don't think it's, I mean, if it's handmade in England, it's quite an achievement because it's brilliant. It looks more like a sort of overseas craft made piece where, you know, they're more skilled than us. But anyway, it took me ages to figure out what it was because I think they had it down on eBay as a trinket box. So God knows where I was scrolling. But it is in fact a mosquito repellent coil holder. And I didn't know such a thing existed. We never really needed to in England until global warming changed all of that. So yeah, you get mosquito coils that you put in there and then you light them like citronella. I mean, I'm probably speaking to people who have them every day. We don't have them, but we need them now. And yeah, and you put it outside in your garden or yarden, and they keep the mozzies off. So what I'm going to do is order some online, order some coils. I've never used it yet, and put it in the garden and see if it keeps the blue bottles away. The blue bottles, bastards, I call them. I hate them so much. Yeah, see if it keeps them away. But anyway, I just loved it, and I've had it as a bit of decoration in the jungle room for the few years that I've had it. So cute stuff. What I'm going to do now is say thank you very much for watching the jewellery haul. I'm going to take you outside in the garden now, if you'll come with me, if you'll keep me company, and show you some of the highlights of this week and some exciting developments. So come on, come with me. Thank you. Off we go. Best news of the week. I found these two aubergine plants that are heavy in flower, which is fantastic, and also they were borderline going into the incinerator, seconds from being wiped away from the planet. And look, I got a free ladybird. I know, it's exciting. It's dinner. So yeah, I got these two rescue aubergine plants. Originally they were £8.50 each, and I paid £1 each, and they were in a terrible state. I wasn't entirely convinced that they were going to be salvageable, but I took a few of the dead leaves and gave them a good soak. They were bone dry, powder dry in the pots, and they've made a miraculous recovery, and they're covered in flowers, so hopefully I'll get some fruit from there. There is one fruit already in here. But I can see some blighters already had a bite before me. So, you know, if I get a couple of fruit from each plant, I'll be lucky. But I'll also be happy. Yeah, because they've been selling aubergine plants in the garden centres for £15 each. And I saw some chilli plants yesterday for £15 each as well. I mean, this is food. You'd have to get about 50 fruit from each plant to make it even viable for paying £15 for one plant. Well, I mean, get a grip, shops. Anyway, hopefully there'll be a bit of a feast. Yes. And this little fella was on the plant in the garden centre when I bought them, and I tried to move him on, or her on, put her on another plant, but she disappeared into the undergrowth, and the plant was in such a bad state. I didn't really want to start messing about with it to try and put them on another plant, so they completely disappeared, and I thought, oh, maybe they've found their own way off. They do have their own means of transport, after all. But then I got home and look who appeared, and they've stayed, so that's fabulous. Free ladybird. So I got those two. Just so many flowers. I'm thrilled. Thrilled to rescue them, and thrilled at the prospect of maybe getting a snack out of it. And I also saved this thing that's hanging by a thread. Don't hold out much hope for any more flowers or any more growth, but there are 4 little cucumbers on there, and this one was 50p. So that's just a pure rescue. I don't know if they'll get any bigger, but I just wanted to save it. Again, shocking state, powder dry sand, and just all shriveled and crusty, so I cut off all the dead. So, good luck. Hi. Good girl. At the same time as the cucumber and the aubergines, I got this. I just picked this up because it was on the rescue shelf. But it's called Tiny Wine, and it's a psychopath. Speaking of. Yeah, so I don't know. Probably next year now. I think all these flowers are dead, but I'll leave them just in case they're buds. It's hard to tell. It's in a bit of a crusty state. Great news on Phil Oakleaf. Look at him now. Oof. Huge. And so healthy. The leaves are really thick and strong and green and luscious. And his trunk is nice and firm. So I think next year something special might happen with that. I think we might be up to here. More brilliant news. The 3 scented geraniums I had in here were sort of fruit and drink flavoured. There was orange, lemon and cola. They were, as I say, completely destroyed, nuked by the winter, the relentless ongoing frost, and then the last frost that came just as everything was trying to sort of creep back to life. But the orange and the cola have come back. They're a little bit soft. I think they're a little bit weakened, and they do always come back quite late. They're sort of big blooming autumnal plants, well, in the garden anyway. But the lemon one, it came back, and then that's all there is. Come on, where there's life. Oh, it's so nice, it's so zesty. So yeah, Stilby's looking pretty. This Stilby is just mega. That's all one plant. Didn't get that as a rescue, didn't get it as a reduced plant. It was only £4 to start with, I think, and that should have been a warning because it's massive and nothing else gets a look in, really. Oh, speaking of getting a look in, I'm going to take full responsibility for this. I just couldn't be bothered with the baskets. If I'd kept deadheading them, they would have been fine, but I just couldn't be arsed. So all the violas I put in the baskets, they've gone to seed. Oh well, not bothered. I'll have to think of something long lasting and heat resistant for next year. I can't keep doing this every year. Being disappointed, getting excited, doing all the work, because bit backbreaking, and then just like letting them go to dust. I've got to sort that out. Maybe some sort of desert succulent trailing cactusy type thing, I don't know. So this is not quite out yet, but it's a really beautiful sort of mauve purple, and in amongst it, honestly, this is all that plant. It's just huge. Is the Melissa lemon balm. It was much healthier and much bigger, but it's been overshadowed by big boy here, and there's a fuchsia in there, not flowering yet. Apple mint, gorgeous. Look at the size of it. That's an apple mint in a pot on top of John Lennon. Oh no, oh yeah. And it's the prettiest mint, and it's got the loveliest scent. Yeah, look at my basket. I mean, I just can't, in my defence, get to them very easily because I'm a bit of a shorty, and once everything's all thick and luscious, I don't want to risk breaking leaves and stems. Oh, well, that's my excuse. It's a lot of old nonsense. I just can't be asked. So yeah, look, a few last remaining dreamers, knackered. Those futures have been in there for years, and they're supposed to be trailing, but that's all they do. Every year the same. They get to that size, few monkey flowers, and that's how they stay. Fair enough. And there we go. That was the mystery rose that I rescued at Christmas. Remember there were 3 of them, the Supremes. One left the band before spring. Last remaining member, unfortunately, because, oh god, look at the state of it as well. I just can't be bothered with roses. It's too much fuss. Because but we'll get around to that in a second. I just want to tell you that the Verbena Bananarama, Bananariansis, has been keeping begonia going all spring. She's munched a lot of these leaves, and my god, she was a little bit under the weather for a few days at the weekend. Really kind of, I can tell when she's not feeling very well, even though she's a little bit of a trooper, you know. She'll just like carry on doing her little routine, eating, sleeping, being strong about it. I could tell that she wasn't quite 100%, and so I sort of pull these stalks down for her, and she eats these leaves, and then she threw up the most enormous fur ball, and it's because it's been so hot. Her fur's dropping out like at a rate of knots, and she hates being combed. So the trick I've got, which is purely scientific, obviously, I've done my research, is I grope her with wet hands as she walks past. I sort of loom in corners like a ninja assassin with wet, damp hands, and then I give her a good squeeze and a grope as she goes past. Hopefully I get some of the loose hair out. She loves it, obviously. Don't you, darling? No, you don't. But I don't know how else to get your loose hair out. Anyway, massive fur ball came up, so we're all relieved about that. So here we are. That's the pink rose. Fried. I don't know what happened. One minute it was okay, it was happy, it was healthy, it was blooming. Next day, it's the heat, it's the sun, it's too much. It's global warming, climate change. We're all doomed. We're all going to end up like this. In the meantime, let's try to be like this. So this corner is always a tricky prospect because, I mean, I don't really know, I'm just trying to speculate, but I think what happens is the sun comes out over that way and it sort of starts in that corner and goes over diagonally. But I think what happens is, because of climate change, it comes out so hot in the morning. This corner is obviously cool throughout the night and then gets just shocked with the intensity of a really hardcore blast of ozone burning sun. And what I thought would be okay was sort of tropical plants, but they're not. They're fried as well. I had to take out the snowball hydrangea from the middle really early on because that was just getting cooked every year. And I put some fuchsias and the oregano in there, some other sort of Mediterranean plants. They're struggling too. The two hydrangeas either side, they're okay, but they're too hot. And this is the other hydrangea I got. I bought the 4 hydrangeas the day I found begonia coconut, so they have sentimental value. So I really want to make sure that they are happy and comfortable, but it's getting harder to find a shady spot for them, really. They might have to come out of the bath and go into containers separately and just, I don't know. I mean, one of the ideas I've got, tell me if you've got any more ideas, is to build a tree canopy. So actually get more trees that are sort of spreaders out across, you know, like a thin, not a thin stalk, but a long tall trunk, so I can see through it like this, so I can see all the glory through them, but with sort of spreading canopies, and literally build a tree canopy in the garden so everything doesn't get microwaved. Isn't that crazy? I don't know. It's the only plan I've got. What do you think? With that idea in mind, one of the most exciting things that happened in the garden this year was the survival and the flourishing of the Christmas tree I rescued in January, you know, in between Christmas and January. I can't tell you how much joy it brought me seeing the little puffy new growth coming out the sides, and I thought maybe that it wasn't going to get any taller, but I got a new one there, so that's going to go up. So that's definitely a plan to get through that bleak period between Christmas and New Year next year, is to go and rescue lots more Christmas trees. There's that spearmint I put in, it's doing quite well. This is another hydrangea. I didn't get this the day I got begonia. This wasn't a rescue either. It was really expensive, I think, but it hasn't done very well. But it's got an interesting black stem and a white flower top. Oh my god. Seriously, look at the state of this cordyline. Slugs and snails, and also the frost, but it did survive eventually. This new growth that I was hanging on for, holding my breath for, and yeah, it came, but I don't think that one survived. I think that one's a goner, which is a shame because they were brothers and sisters. Back to good news. This is the hydrangea, one of begonia's hydrangeas, the snowball, schneeball, that I took out of the bath, put in a pot, and look, glorious. It's never been that big, it's never produced that many flowers. It's absolutely fantastic, stunning. So again, shade, loves shade. Look who's back. Not for long. Also, best news, my signature plant. I call it my signature plant. It's sort of the plant that's probably closest to my heart. I used to sell a lot of these when I had my herb business, and it's the geranium attar of roses. It smells like Turkish delight, and the flowers are exquisite. You can use the leaves in cooking, you can flavour sugar with them, and you can eat the flowers. But really, it's just the most fantastic geranium. And I thought the whole lot was nuked by the frost. I thought it was all completely gone. At one time, this whole bed was full of it, cascading down. This one's a trailing variety. I had them just dotted all over the yarden in all the pots, and they fill my heart with joy. And they've done it again. They're back. There's one there. One there. I thought I saw another little fighter survivor somewhere in here, but for some reason he's gone now. Can you see it? No, gone. So there's just the two left in the bath. There's one. Oh, it's raining now. And here's one in this pot, and this one's looking the healthiest, I think. So I'm absolutely delighted beyond words about that. We live to fight another day. It's raining. Come on. So there we go, all stickety-boo in the yarden and in the casa. And I hope you have a fantastic week. Thanks so much for watching. I know it was probably a little bit manic. The last thing I should do probably is drink this. But as I've explained before in another video, it is like baby cola. It's a gateway cola for children. And it's no sugar in it, it's diet. But still, it's obviously having quite an effect on me. But have a fabulous week. I'll see you next Friday. Thanks so much again for watching. Please subscribe if you're not already. It's completely free. You just press the button and nothing happens to you, but I get a little warm feeling inside. And if you're feeling extremely generous, please press the thumbs up as well. Oh my God, well, that blows my mind. So, thanks again. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye from me and the bugs.